Good morning to all my frequent flyers out there. You're going to be flying with Captain Arline this morning. And I want you to get on the flight and sit back and relax in. And once you get on the flight, make sure you got a boarding pass. And once you get on the flight, I want you to make sure that you put all your luggage in the top of the... And please clear the aisle up. You understand what I'm saying? And I also want you to please understand my job is to take you from point A to point B. And some things that I want all my passengers to realize. And that in order for us to get from point A to point B, there is two things you and I must have. We must have faith and we must have work. We must have faith in the Lord that He's going to take us there. And the work that I put into it, I got to make sure all my instruments are correct. I got to make sure the air pressure and all that kind of stuff. So I can assure you that you're going to be flying with Captain Arline on flight 118. My job is to take you there. But once you get on the planes, I need to give you some pre-flight instructions to ensure your safety and the safety of the plane. I want everybody to have your seat, relax, look at your overhead projector, make sure that the thing is locked in, but I have to make sure that myself locked in. And I hope everybody understand. If you never flew with Captain Arline, you're about to get a rude awakening. But before we get on the runway, how many of y'all know anything about flying? Oh, I just need to get on the plane. Well, since I have a little time before I get on the runway, now let me show you an example of a little plane here. For those who don't know anything about planes, there is full forces of flying this plane. How many forces? Full forces. The thrust, the drag, the lift, and the weight. I need all of that to be working together before I'm able to get off the ground. You see this plane here? I want you to understand. There are step by step as an experienced pilot that I need to make sure that everything's going to work out. Now, what did I say it takes to fly this plane? Thrust, the back of the drag, the lift, gravity. What does gravity do? It pushes and pulls. Now you understand. You see these wings here? Has a lot to do with it getting off the ground. Now you done got a little education about a little bit about the plane. Let me tell you what have to happen. And once I give you pre-flight instructions, and once everybody have their seat, don't get up until we get up to about 32,000 feet. And I will be giving you instructions as to when you can move around in the plane. I want to make sure that everybody understands. Have faith in me and God. Don't just have faith in me that I'm going to take you there and take you back. And once the runway is clear, and once I get instruction from the tower, it is clear for me to get on runway 3. I taxi all out. Then I turn to the left. Now you must understand, I have to build up enough speed enough air to get up under here. I have to rely on the strush. I have to rely on the drag. I have to rely on the lift. I have to rely on the weight. And I have to have faith in God. Now, even a little kid know that once you get on the runway and you're on the taxiway, whatever you call it, I'm calling it the taxiway. And once I get on the taxiway, I have to build up enough strush. I have to be able to build enough speed. I got to make sure that all my burners are working. I have to make sure all my computer system is working. Because one deficiency, if something doesn't add up, we're asking for disaster. As I taxi down the runway, I want you to understand, I'm picking up speed. Now, it don't make sense that if I pick up speed and if my plane's still lifting, I'm not a jet. Only a jet can go straight up. I have to gradually build up speed. I have to gradually build up. And once I get to 32,000 feet, then I will come over and say, it's okay. You can get up and you can walk around. Enjoy the flight. Now I want to ask you something, man. And I'm not trying to put myself out there. Make sure when you get on the flight, make sure you know a little bit about the captain on before you get on it. Now I'm going to ask you something, and sometimes things does happen. Which one would you rather fly with? A captain got a lot of years of experience or a 1-year captain with experience? You're flying with a captain today, and one good thing about this captain, you have to have trust in God, and you better have trust in him too. Okay, once I got my 32,000 feet, and once I get close to my destination, I will give you instruction about how close we'll get. Put on your seatbelt and don't move. Now I'm getting ready to descend. Now most people, you don't think I'm going to descend like that, do you? Oh no, baby. There's a gradual process just like the lift. You have to be able to lower the plane down. You got to be able to balance it out. And so as you approach the runway, and you know that everybody, okay, we're getting ready to land. Now most people's already frightened anyway. But as long as you're flying with the captain, chill out, baby. You're going to get there. You're going to get there, and you're going to get there safe. And as I get ready to land, I can't just land and hit the brakes just like that. Oh, no. An experienced pilot is going to know once it done came down, and those back wheels done came down. Now we know that it's about gravity and talking about the drag. And once I get off the runway, and guess what? The Captain Arline going to say to each and every last one of you, thank you for flying with the captain, and make sure that you book your next flight, and make sure that you know who I am, knowing that you flew with Captain Arline, and he taught me something about gravity, speed, height, distance. I want to say to all the young peoples out there, you should take ROTC. Not all ROTC that teach you about aerodynamics. The Air Force ROTC teach you above and beyond space, flight. He teach you about the weather. Has an experienced pilot. You better know something about weather. You better know something about the radar. You better know everything about that pilot. And that pilot need to be skillful. He need to make sure that his passengers are safe. You understand? I appreciate you flying with the captain this morning and tell everybody else that boy know what he's doing. That boy just took me on a flight. He took me there. He taught me a little bit about flight. We talked about balance, those wings. You cannot take off with the wings like this. To me, it don't make sense. You cannot take off with full speed with the wings like this. All right, try to work with me now. I'm just trying to tell you. Some people don't know what the laws of gravity and the laws of nature is. And that's where I come in at. You understand? What is my job is? To make you feel comfortable in your daily life. As captain of the ship, I must have those four forces. I must have the work, and I must have faith in the Almighty God that He's going to take me there, you there, and back. We all need to have faith and work. When we get in our cars, we get on our airplanes, trains, whatever. You better make sure that captain know what he's doing. That captain that made you safe, that made you comfortable before you take the flight. And some of y'all may be tensed up, but once the captain come on and just have a little sense of humor, make you feel like you relax, and let's get this thing on the road. It's been a plumb pleasing pleasure for you to fly with the captain this morning. And please, don't forget, you thank God that we went there and we went there safe and came back safe. And I want you to believe one thing. God is your only comfort zone. So, now next flight, now if I'm drunk, my next flight might be like this. And every the passengers like this. And guess what? And I done kept my foot on the gas and I keep pulling back on the thrush. Pulling back. And the plane keep going back. And I don't realize this is not a jet. Work with me. Been a plumb pleasing pleasure. See you on my next flight. I enjoyed it.